I'm starting the recording again.
Okay.
So, sir, are you familiar with web services in Py.x?
Yes, we normally use WSDLs and XSDs,
Okay.
WSDL and yeah, to like there would be a request coming in from the front end. Normally, when the users go online and want to make some changes or create an account,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll get a request. Then yeah, we will reply according to the request which comes. We respond.
Okay.
So request reply services that we use. The
Okay.
request would be in XML or also in JSON format, right?
Okay. No, SOAP services. Okay. The requests are always in XML. We don't have any.
XML, yeah,
We don't have any
yeah,
SOAP.
yeah. It would be in XML. Sometimes front end has a JSON format,
That is
so it would be
REST services.
which services?
REST
REST.
services. Yeah, they are not SOAP services. They are REST services.
REST services. Hmm. No, even in SOAP, I think we use JSON, right?
Oh,
At
no,
times.
no. In SOAP, mostly we use XML. JSON means that is very rarest scenario actually.
Okay, because we used to convert to JSON
To XML.
to XML.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
do the
We can,
testing.
yeah, we can do that as well. Okay. Normally we use XML in SOAP most of the time. Okay.
Okay.
So let's okay. So we have two scenarios. So in one case, okay, TIBCO acts as a service provider. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, okay, from client we are going to receive the request.
From the front end, you
Yeah,
can say basically.
yeah, from front end or some other third party application. Right? So we are going to receive the request. Okay.
Okay.
And in this case, okay, we are going to use something like a service agent. Okay, something like service agent to expose this to create a web service from TIBCO BW5.x. Right?
Okay. A service agent invokes, right? It invokes the
No.
web services, right?
It doesn't invoke. It exposes a web service.
Exposes, okay.
Okay, so that your front end can call
Web.
the web service. Okay, in this case, okay,
Okay.
we are hosting the TIBCO is hosting the web service. Okay,
Okay.
and second thing, in second scenario, okay, we have a third party, okay, application which acts as a service provider. Okay, so in this case, TIBCO acts as a client. Okay, TIBCO invokes their web service. So in this case, okay, TIBCO invokes the web service. Okay, so in that case, talk in terms of Py.x. Okay, we are going to use go to SOAP and SOAP request reply. Okay, we are going to use this activity to invoke the other web services. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and if you can go to BW6, okay, we don't have any palette something related to SOAP. Okay, we don't have this SOAP
Yeah.
palette itself. Okay, so how do we
Okay.
that? How do we do that? Okay, how do we invoke an external service? Okay, so today we are going to see how we invoke a external web service, external SOAP service. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so I have already defined a simple web service in py.x. Okay, so let's say I would like to invoke this service from py.x, sorry, 6.x. Okay,
Okay.
so normally how do you test web services after?
Using SOAP UI, or
SOAP UI,
we'll do
perfect.
local testing.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's use SOAP UI. Okay, so this is my digital. Okay, I have a simple web service. Okay, arithmetic web service. Okay, which accepts two integers and performs addition, multiplication, and subtraction. Okay, based on the request, I perform these three operations and give the reply. Okay, I have a simple web service. Okay, after,
Okay.
and this is my concrete result. I am saving it.
Okay.
Okay, and let
Okay.
me start the web service.
So you're doing it in 5.x?
Yeah, I'm just showing you. Okay, so currently
Okay.
my web service is running on py.x. Okay, I would like to
Okay.
invoke this web service from 6.x.
Okay.
Okay, so first let me test it with SOAP UI.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my py.x web service visitor. I'm opening it. Okay, so it has three operations: addition, multiplication, and subtraction. Okay, let's go and hit
Okay.
addition. So go and hit. So I have the response. Okay, 24.
Yes.
Okay, so my a process a job is created here. Okay, so
Yes.
it is working fine. Okay, so let's go and see how we can invoke this web service from 6.x.
Okay.
So let's go and create a project, new project, and here go to business works and select the business works application and next,
Okay.
and here try to give something like project name. Okay, here we need to give the project name arithmetic web service underscore client. Okay, so I'm giving this project name here. Okay, and after that select import.
Okay.
So as we discussed in our last class, okay, it is going to create two projects. One is module and one is application. Okay,
Yes.
and module is the one, okay, where we are going to implement our process development. Okay,
Yes.
let's go and import. Okay, so we need that concrete visual, right?
Visual.
To invoke the web service, we need the concrete visual. So let's go
Yep.
and import the concrete visual. So right click on the service source and go and import service import wizard and select
Okay.
the wizard. Sorry, select import from a file and go next and select the digital file. So it is
Okay.
available on my desktop and select that digital and open finish. Okay, now it is going to import the digital file. Okay, this is my concrete visual.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you can see here, okay, we don't have anything with soap yet. Okay, so we have whereas in our py.x, okay, we have an activity, we have a palette called scope. okay, under which we have
Yes.
scope activities. But in 6.x, okay,
You have rest.
we don't have anything with the name soap. But
So,
to invoke a soap web service, okay, we don't have anything here. Okay, that doesn't mean that we can't invoke a web service from Protect. Okay, we can invoke a web service. Okay, let's first
mhm.
add a timer activity.
Okay.
Okay, which automatically starts the process definition. Okay, so I'm selecting that one. And one more important thing here is in 6.x. Okay, so this is your process definition. Okay, if you can see here, this thing and this thing. Okay,
Yeah.
so when you want to invoke a web service, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we need to add that visual here, this part, okay, towards your right hand side. Okay, we call it reference.
Okay.
And when you create a web service, okay, when you create a
Okay.
web service, you need to add the visual here. Okay, we call it is service.
Okay.
Okay, so this is service. Okay, when we want to create a web service from TIBCO, okay, we need to go for this. When we want to invoke other web service, we need to go for this. Okay, this is reference and this is a service. Okay,
What is the first one?
this is service,
Next one.
this is service, and this is reference.
Okay.
Okay, so in our case, okay, we are consuming the other web service. Okay, that means we need to use a reference.
Okay.
Okay, for that, okay, for that we first need to go here. Okay, go to basic activities. Okay,
Okay.
and here we have an activity called invoke. Okay, select this activity
Okay.
and add it to your process definition first. Okay,
Okay.
and right. So connect the timer activity with the invoke activity,
Okay.
and I am invoking the addition operation here. Okay,
Okay.
and select the sorry, this invoke activity. Okay, and you can see here, okay, we have an interface here. Okay, we have a plus button here, right?
Yes.
Select that, and from, okay, once we select that, okay, it will give you the list of visuals available on your project, in your project. Okay, so we have a single visual available, right? So it will give that particular visual.
Yes.
Okay, and select that
Okay.
visual and click OK. Okay,
Okay.
it automatically adds the reference here. Okay, if you can see here, earlier it was not there. Okay, after clicking this, okay, after adding this visual to your invoke operation activity, okay, it is going to add this visual here. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Are you getting?
Okay.
Okay, so after adding the visual, okay, so you can select the operations here. Okay, I have three operations, right? One is multiplication, one is addition, and one is subtraction. Okay, so let me go and select the addition. Hello.
Yeah, I just muted because there's a disturbance in the background.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay, no problem. I'll
yeah.
continue. Okay, so if you have any questions, please stop.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am selecting the operation here. Okay, so after adding the visual in the invoke activity, okay, I am selecting the required operation. So I can select any one of the operations. Okay, I have three operations here, and I'm selecting the addition here. So upon selecting this visual, okay, it automatically adds the reference here. Okay, if the reference is not there, it adds it. If the reference is already there, okay, it won't add it. So the reference is already there. Sorry, it is going to add the reference for you first time. Okay, and after selecting the required operation, okay, go to the input tab, and here we have two parameters, right? as part of your request, okay, we have two parameters, A and B. Okay, so let me go and give something like 20 and 40. Okay, so I like to do this sum. Okay, so 20 plus 40, I would like to addition. I would like to add both of them. Okay, so if you can go and check the output, it gives the reply. Okay, see. Okay, so after doing this, okay, select your reference here. Okay, so here under reference type, okay, we have a drop down. Okay, go and select binding reference. Okay, so by default it is process reference. Okay, we'll come to process reference later. Okay, so for now, okay, to invoke a web service, okay, we need to go for binding reference. Okay, so if you can see here, I don't have I have only two tabs here, one is general tab and one is context tab. Okay, so after selecting the binding reference, okay, I have another tab called binding. Okay,
Yes.
okay, and okay, to invoke a web service, okay, we need a shared resource. Okay, what is that shared resource? Okay, right click on the resource tab, go to new, and
HTTP connection.
not HTTP connection actually. So in your AWS point of view, okay, we have a HTTP connection, single HTTP connection actually. Okay, but whereas in 6.x, okay, we have HTTP client and HTTP connector. Okay, so when we want to invoke a web service, okay, when we want to invoke a web service or when we want to post a HTTP request, okay, we need to go for HTTP client. Okay, whereas when we want to create a web service, in that case, we go for HTTP connector. In our case, we are invoking a web service, right? So we need to use HTTP client shared resource. Okay, so I am adding a HTTP client shared resource here and selecting finish. Okay, so it will add a HTTP client shared resource to me, and here we need to give the host and port, and localhost I'm keeping it as it is, and the port. Okay, you can go and see my concrete visitor. Okay, this is my concrete visitor, right? So you can go and see the concrete visitor. Okay, the web service is running on this particular port 5246. Okay, so go and give the port number as 5246. Okay, and with this my HTTP client shared resource is completed. Now go to your process definition and select the reference again. Okay, so after selecting the reference, go to the binding tab and here add binding. Okay, so it will ask whether you want to invoke a web SOAP service or REST service. Okay, so here we are trying to invoke a SOAP service. So select the SOAP service and finish. Okay, after selecting the SOAP service, and it will add these things. Okay, the binding here. Okay, here in the HTTP client. Okay, go and navigate and map that HTTP client resource which you have just created. Okay, so with this, our process definition is completed. Okay, we don't see any errors now. Okay, so everything is fine. You can go and check the problems tab. Okay, we don't have any errors.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so with this is how we create a SOAP client from ww6.x. Okay, so with this, I am done
Okay.
with creating the process definition, and now set up the test. Okay, so to test this, okay, go to run and go to debug configuration. Okay,
Okay.
so run debug configuration, and here select business works application, and here add the new launch configuration.
Okay.
And we'll add a new application here. It will take some time. Okay. Now name it something meaningful. Systematic web service client. Okay. So preferably try to give same as your project name. And here we can select the project name. Okay. If you have multiple projects, okay, so all the projects are available here. We can select the required project. So I'm selecting this particular project and apply. After applying, and select the debug, so that it will start your process. Okay. So I have a timer, right? It is going to invoke this process. It is going to invoke this vector. So application is started. So I have a timer, right? If you can see here, it has already invoked that web service. Go and check. See, it is invoked the web service, and the operation is addition. It has received the 20 and 40 as a request, and I'm adding them, and I'm sending the reply back to them. It is 60. Now go and check your 6.x in your 6.x, okay, studio. You can see timer has invoked, and add. Okay, this is the invoke activity using which we have invoked this web service. You can select this invoke activity. Okay, now we can see in the input we passed 20 and 40, and in the output we have received the response 60. Okay, so this is how we invoke a web service.
Okay, but how? Why did we use 5.x to invoke the web service? Can't we directly
Sorry?
do it through SOAP UI, or we?
No, no. See,
Yeah,
let's
we work.
let's assume. Okay, this web service is running somewhere else. Okay, we don't care about whether it is a 5.x or some Java application. Okay,
Okay.
so what we are trying to learn in the class today is how to invoke a web service from 6.x.
Yes.
That is what we are trying to learn.
Okay.
Okay, so normally we
So the
use,
backend the application would be anything.
yeah, that could be anything. It could be a 5.x application or a simple Java application or a .NET application. We don't we
Okay.
don't bother. Okay, we don't need that kind of thing. Okay, so it is a simple web
Okay.
service running on somewhere else. Okay, so I just wanted to invoke that web service from 6.x. That is what my core idea here. Okay,
Okay.
so this is how we are going to invoke a web service from 6.x. Okay,
Okay.
normally, okay, in 5.x, okay, we are going to use a simple SOAP request reply activity to use that to invoke the web service. But in 6.x, we follow this approach, this process to invoke a web service.
Okay. Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
so any questions here after?
No, not so far.
So far, okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll just share this web service, okay, that which I have created in 5.x, and as well as the concrete visual, so that you create the project on your own, on your vision, okay, and try to work out.
Okay. Yeah, but I need to have it. Do I need to configure the local host and?
Yeah, see, I have already configured the web service, 5.x web service, okay. You just need to run the web service as it is,
Okay.
okay.
So don't I need to configure it in my system?
No, I'll just give the project, this project as well, okay.
Okay.
Okay, you just open it in designer and run it.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, so after
Okay.
doing that, okay, so try to create this client application from 6.x and run it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can see, if you can take the scenarios in your task list, okay, so there is the very first service, okay, he is mentioning like we need to invoke a web service provided by PeopleSoft there, right?
Yes.
So we are going to follow the same approach there.
Okay.
Okay, but instead of timer, okay, here we are going to have a queue receiver activity. Okay, because
Curious here.
yeah, we are receiving the request from a queue, right? So,
Yes.
instead of timer, okay, we are going to have a queue receiver there, and after that we are going to have this invoke action to invoke the PeopleSoft web service. Okay,
Okay.
so that is how it works actually. Okay, this is how we create a simple SOAP client from BW6.x.
Okay.
Okay,
Hmm. Okay.
okay, I'm stopping it.
Okay.
So, any questions, After?
Yeah, nothing. It is good. It's simpler,
Okay, so
like similar to Fiber.x. It's not that complicated.
yeah. Okay, so the things here we need to remember is this is service and this is reference. Okay, when we want to
Reference.
invoke a web service, we are going to use the reference. When we create
Reference.
a
When you want to create
we are going to use
a
service.
web service, we use service.
Correct.
Okay.
So let's go and create a web service now.
Okay.
Okay. So I am closing all of them.
So you stopped the recording, or you continuing the
Yeah,
recording?
recording is continuing. I have just stopped that service actually.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine. And now go and create a new project again. Okay.
Okay.
TIBCO Business
Okay.
Source application. Next. And this time it is not client, this is a server. Okay.
Okay.
Automatic web service server. Okay. So now I am going to create a web service to accept the request. Okay. So let me go and stop this service. I no longer require. Okay. And to create a web service again, we need a concrete. We need an abstract visitor, right? So once we have a visitor, okay, we can create a web service. Okay. So I have already defined a visitor. Let me go and import that visitor.
Okay.
So right click. And, so you know, right, what is a concrete visual and what is an abstract visual?
Yes. The normally abstract visual has all the uh, connection details, server details,
No, no, no.
and
Concrete visual contains the connection details. Okay,
yeah. Okay.
abstract visual is the one, okay, which is going to contain, okay,
Only
the operation
have
details.
the
So what are all
operations.
operations it has? So that kind of information contains the abstract visual. Whereas in
Okay.
concrete visual,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
okay, we have the web service operations as well as the connection details.
Yeah, but normally then we use abstract visual, right, to do all the testing and all, or we use concrete visual.
When we want to invoke a web service, okay,
Mm-hmm.
when we want to invoke a web service, we need a concrete visual. Okay,
Okay.
when we want to create a web service, okay,
Okay.
in that
We
case we
need
need a
abstract.
abstract visual. Okay, so
Okay.
I have already created an abstract visual. Okay, let me go and import that.
Okay.
Right click on the service descriptor, import, and service import wizard from file. Next. So web service. I have created a abstract vista already. I'm just importing that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is my abstract vista. Okay.
Okay.
After importing the abstract vista, right click on the vista, go to business works processes, generate processes, and create soap binding. Okay.
Okay.
So it is going to create a new process definition for you. Okay, if you can see here, this is the web service and the process definition which business works has generated.
Okay.
Okay, so forget about this process and deleting it. So this is the process definition which Studio has generated for me to create a web service. Okay, so if you can see, it contains three operations here: add, subtraction, and multiplication. So that is the reason why, okay, it had added three blocks here. You can see this is for addition, this is for subtraction, and this is for multiplication. Okay, and it also added another activity called what is a reply activity. Okay, this is responsible. Okay, this is the activity which is going to send the response back to the client application, to that particular web service. Okay, now, so whenever an addition operation comes in, okay, whenever a client application invokes the addition operation, okay, it is going to execute this block. Whenever client application invokes subtraction, it is going to execute this block. Whenever a client application invokes multiplication, it is going to invoke this particular block. Okay. Now select this activity here and go to input. Now here, if you can see the response element C. Okay. In the data source towards your left hand side, we can see the request elements A and B. Okay. So this is for addition, right? So simply drag and drop and do the addition. Okay. If there was a problem, okay. So if there is any problem, something like this, okay, select this checkbox and select this fixer and press OK so that it resolves the problem. Okay. With that, I have implemented the addition operation. And now select the subtraction operation. In the right hand side, we have the request. In the right hand side, we have the response. Okay, just drag and drop B and minus A. Again, we have a problem here. Select this checkbox. Okay, and it resolves the problem. After that, C, multiplication. Again, in the left hand side we have a request, in the right hand side we have a response. So select A into B. Okay, so now select this. So with this, I am done with my web service. Okay, I have implemented the three operations. It is now ready for testing, but it is not yet ready actually. We still need to configure a few more things. Okay, so
He also needs to give the values, right?
which values?
The addition, subtraction, and multiplication.
No, that client application will give that values, right? Whenever it invokes
Okay.
the web service, okay, it will provide that value. Okay, our
Okay. So at
responsibility,
the time of testing.
yeah, our responsibility is to accept those values and perform the operation and give the response back.
Okay.
Okay, so the one pending action here is we still not given the HTTP host and port details, right?
Yes.
So for that, okay, go to your module descriptor here and select the overview. Okay, you can select
Okay.
the overview. Here we have components tab. Select that components tab and expand this process. Okay, this is the process definition we have just added, right? So this is the process definition. and select the SOAP service bindings here. Okay, so here we need to create the HTTP connection. Okay, we need to configure the HTTP connection. Okay, so before that we need to define the HTTP connection. Okay, so right click on the resources here and select the new, and here use the HTTP connector.
Okay.
Okay, last time we have used HTTP client. Okay, that is
Yes.
invoking a web service, but now we are creating a web service, right? So that is the reason why I am selecting HTTP connector. So select the
Okay.
HTTP connector and finish, and here select this. Okay, this is a global variable. Okay, it is trying to use a global variable. Okay, let's make it simple. Okay, so instead of global variable I am just keeping a hard coded value. Okay, so to
Okay.
give a hard coded value, okay, select this button here and select the literal value. Okay, we'll cover global variables later point of time. Okay, for now
Okay.
use hard coded value. Localhost and use port number something like 45248. So I have given the host and port.
Okay.
So now go to your module descriptor. Okay, so under module descriptor we have overview, and under that under module descriptor we have components. Select the components. It will give you the process definition which we have just created.
Okay.
So here go to bindings. Okay, the transport configuration. Okay, select the drop down and select the HTTP. Okay, so after selecting the
Okay.
HTTP it will ask you to provide the HTTP connector. Okay, so we have just created that HTTP connector, right? So select that
Yes.
HTTP connector and save it. Okay, so after saving it we are good to go actually. Okay, so now our project is ready, okay, to test it.
Okay.
Okay, so to test the project, okay, so go to run again and debug configuration, and again create a new launch. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, so now try to provide the project name arithmetic underscore ws underscore server. Okay, this time we have two projects, right? So now I'm testing arithmetic web service server, not client. So I'm not
So,
checking the, so I'm only checking the server
good.
and applying it.
Yeah.
So debug it. Okay, so now my web service is started. Okay, so to test my web service, okay, we need a concrete visual, right? So how to generate a
Okay.
concrete visual from 5.6.x? Okay, so go to design again here. Okay, go to your module descriptor. Under that, we go to components, and under
Okay.
that, okay, select the bindings here. Go to bindings tab. Okay, here you can see a link. Okay, generate concrete visitor. Okay, select the concrete visitor and select the location where you want to create it. Okay, so and provide the name. Okay, let me give something like PW6 and finish it, so that it will generate the concrete visitor. Okay, now we are good to test this web service. Okay, now go to web debug mode here. Okay, go to debug mode. Okay, so let's try to invoke this web service from SOAP. So try to load the concrete visitor which we have generated. Okay, so BW6, right? This is the complete visual which we have generated from Studio. And open it and okay. And here select the same request and reply. Okay, provide the addition. Sorry, select the addition and provide the values for addition 12 and 12 and try to invoke it. So you got the response back. You can go and see here. The web service has been invoked and okay, the group, okay, addition group has executed. Okay, you can see on message. Okay, so if you can select this one, okay, it will show you the which operation it got invoked. Okay? So if you can select this, addition is invoked. Okay, so this is the, you can select on message start. Okay, we have the request 12 and 12. You can select the add output. Okay, that is the activity, right? So you can see the result. So let's go and invoke multiplication. So we have the response back from web service. Now if you can see, a new job has created here. Okay, for multiplication. This is for addition and this is for multiplication. Expand this. If you can go and select the on message start, it invokes the multiplication. You can see, right? The highlighted one. The highlighted one is the operation which is invoked. Okay, this is the request and the two parameters which I have received as part of request 20 and 40. Select the mul out. Okay, here we have the response of that particular operation. Okay, so this is how we create a web service from bw6.x. Okay, is that clear?
Yep.
Okay, so
Yes.
it actually doesn't look that simple actually when you create, right? When you work on your mission, okay, it doesn't look that simple. It will give some hard time actually. Okay, so try to create it on your own, okay? So
Try to create what you said. I'm sorry.
this web service, okay, which I have just
Okay.
depicted, right? So try to create this web service, okay, on
Okay.
your mission, okay. So I'll share the results and I'll share all the projects, okay. So try to create that digital, okay. So try to create that web service. First thing is try to create the web service client, and second is try to create the web service server itself. Okay, two things.
Okay.
Okay, so you definitely have some questions, okay, while you work, right? You definitely have some questions, okay. We'll discuss them in next class and we'll try to understand the whole concept.
Sure, no problem. You can also share the video recording as well as
Yeah, I'll share the video
all.
recording. I'll share this BW6 project and I'll share the web service which I have created in Py.x as well, okay.
Okay, no problem.
And I'll also share the abstract visual.
Abstract crystal. Okay.
Okay, so abstract visual, okay, I'll share the BW5.x project, okay, so that contains the abstract visual as well. Okay, if you can see, okay, so this is the web service I have created in Py.x, okay, that folder, okay, in that project, okay, we have a folder called shared resources, okay, here we have arithmetic ws.visual, okay, this is the abstract visual, okay, this is the one we can
Okay.
use to create a web service. Okay, you can
Okay.
simply import this file. Okay, so after importing the file, okay, just follow the process which I have shown you to create the web service.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll share all these files with you. Okay, so try to work out on it.
Okay, no problem. I will do that.
Okay, so
Okay, sure.
if you have any questions, okay, we'll discuss in the next class.
Next class.
Okay, that
Sure.
is on my Tuesday 6:30 morning.
Yes, done. I will update those guys as well.
Yeah. Okay. So in that class, okay,
Okay.
we'll decide. Okay, so what is the convenient time for all of us to discuss.
Yes, we'll come up with a time.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Sure.
after then, so I'll stop it here for the day. Okay, so you try to
Sure.
complete this. Okay, any
Okay,
questions?
I will do that. No, I will come up with questions.
Yeah,
The next session.
yeah, sure. Okay, after then, chalo, man. Bye.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Rob. Okay, bye.